Just making sure everything's functioning, because there was another Windows update last night. Yay! We all know how much I love those. And how they will mysteriously just suddenly change all of my audio settings. And that's never fun. Alright. Did I do all of the things? No, I didn't. Okay. So if you guys are streaming your challenge adventures or just tweeting about them, make sure you tag WoW challenges. Hashtag WoW challenges, one word. Big W, little O, big W, big C, and the rest in lowercase. Because, we do like to see what everybody's doing. And if you use the hashtag, it makes it a lot easier for us to keep track of. Alright. So, I did put on there that we're going to try to get to Iron Man. It really depends on what time it is, and if I've had enough by time we get to that point. So we're only doing 3 Bloodthirsties today. I actually didn't have time to work on the mage this weekend, number 1. Number 2, I wanted the mage to sit a level so that there's a level of space between them and the rogue. Because they are very close in level. So that had to happen eventually, and I figured since we were going to also be working the rogue through the mall today, or trying to, that's going to take a little bit of time, and I don't want to feel pressured to rush through that. So, we're only doing 3 bloods this week. Hopefully we don't have any issues, and if it looks like there's still time and I'm still feeling up to it, we'll try to get to the iron, but no promises today. And sorry about the late start. I got up a little bit late, and then I had a bunch of stuff I had to do as part of my wake up routine, and that took a little bit for me to get through everything. I actually did not go through everything. I've got to remember to check my email in a little bit. But we're back here at the Tusk Pools. I know for a little bit I had been trying to go after the Dimetrodons next door. And I was like, oh, well, this is good because, you know, they give more XP on the whole because, you know, there's the babies over here that only give a fraction of the of what the adults do, and I was like, no, this is a good thing. And then I started to have weird lag spikes over there. I don't know if it was WoW being odd or if it was my internet. I don't know what was happening, but it was happening pretty steadily over there. So I was like, you know what? We had the one weird DC kind of. I was like, this maybe is not a good idea because at least these guys are neutral, non-hostile mobs, where the other dinos across the road are hostile, and a couple of them patrol. So if I end up in one of those weird DC situations again, I'm kind of, you know, frantically trying to get back in. Oh my god, am I still alive sort of situation. At least here, as long as I wasn't in combat, I should have a better chance at surviving on this side of the road. So that's why I've gone back to staying over here. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm still waking up. Voice is extra allergy raspy today. We have picked up an ivory tusk so far though. And I replaced shoes. I wasn't totally thrilled with the stats on the shoes, but it was at least a little bit more health and armor. So I figured, you know, probably should go ahead and put that on. So for those new to the Bloodthirsty scene, you are grinding to max level. Can't die. You can wear green gear. You're not supposed to be questing. Any quest done will count against you. You're allowed 4 Idea quests before you get a yellow flag. That includes daily quests, so don't be doing your blingtrons and stuff because that will count against you. Sorry. Like, I'm losing my voice here. Which is not good because we've got a week of talking coming up. We've got a couple more streams to go before the week is out, so that's not good. Our allergies have been insane the past few days. It is super windy today too. So we have that to contend with. We have removed 5 mice in the past 3 days from the attic though. We got new traps. We tried a bucket trap because we're like, this is getting ridiculous. They've been squeaking up there, which was a new development. That hadn't been happening before, so we're like, oh fuck, what is going on up there? So we tried a bucket trap, and every time they went on the ramp in the bucket trap, we didn't have it sensitive enough for them to fall through. So we didn't realize how light they were and how sensitive it needed to be, and then they wouldn't go on the ramp once we fixed it. So we're like, oh good. So then we went and got multiple smaller traps, and they've been going in those like crazy. So we're like, fantastic. So we got rid of 2 one day, 2 the next day, and we got rid of 1 this morning. We have no idea how many are still up there. We knew there was at least 4 still up there when we put the camera up in the attic area, and we had actually put a plate of bait out for them just to try to see how many we had to deal with. So we kind of enticed them to come out, get a better handle on what or how big the problem was. I haven't heard any squeaking, so I was actually surprised that he caught one last night, or there was one in one of the traps this morning. We might put a different bait in one of the traps just to see if maybe a different bait will entice them to come out, but we'll see what happens later tonight before we go to bed when we check them again to see what's happening up there. We've since pulled the camera down out of the attic space, so we don't have it up there watching the cameras anymore. We now have it on our front porch, so I keep hearing things that go bump in the night that are freaking me out there. No idea what they are, what is happening. And we were also using it to check for the one cat that likes to visit that doesn't seem to mind our presence now and will let us pet him, because we weren't sure if he was feral or if he was someone's outdoor cat that just didn't like other people. He's still a little skittish around us, but he's purring and meows at us and is okay with us once he realizes it is us. But we still have to move slowly around him. He's very cautious. We've also seen 2 other cats that we had no idea that were coming to our house. One has patches and is very calico-like all over their fur. I think they've got 2 different colored fur patches over their eyes. And another one that we had no idea came here is mostly white with some gray on it, who seems to do a very large territorial circle. Because we had seen them when we were out on our walk before it had gotten dark out the other night, and at first we thought it was our visitor cat, and then we're like, no, there's too much white on this one. So I think after we had just gotten back from our walk, we checked the camera feed while we were gone, or we got a notification or something, and we saw that cat on the porch, and I'm like, oh, that's new. We're just feeding the whole neighborhood now. So we now have 3 cats that visit our front porch, and I'm like, cats, I don't have the funds to feed you. I really don't. We were thinking about maybe setting up a bird feeder cam or a squirrel feeder cam with this camera, but there's only the one app and it seems to only stream to Russell's phone. Excuse me. It doesn't, like, I can't get it to stream to my PC, so there doesn't seem to be an app that exists for that. It could be because the camera is somewhat new, maybe they're still working on it, I don't know. But I was looking at other cameras that we could possibly do this with, and a lot of the other wildlife streams, they have linked their camera, and it's like the same camera, and that fucker is expensive. All of them were expensive, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So that ain't happening. Not anytime soon, that's for damn sure. So that plan's on hold. I'd still like to do it one day, maybe if finances improve. But there's no way that's happening anytime soon. Oh, right, level 40. That was a quick one today. Alright. Let's get our photo for the Twitters. That didn't put the banner in there, did it? No. Okay. Alright, so 1 down. 1 in the books, and I may have found a new pillow. And I'm kind of excited because the pillow I've had is over 10 years old and is disintegrating. I actually think it might be closer to 15. Because my neck is so bad that some pillows, when I lay in them, instant migraine. Like, just pain, and I feel sick, and my neck is bad. And this one, I haven't had any extra noticeable pain, and I don't think it's given me a migraine, but it's making me very hot, like ridiculously overheating hot, and so I'm not happy about that. But most nights I sleep with ice packs on my neck anyway, just to keep anything stupid from happening, and I can't sleep when I'm hot. And I can just feel like the heat radiating off of my neck when I lay on that pillow. It has a cooling side and a normal side, and the cooling side is as hot as the other side. The other side might actually be a little bit hotter, but I don't know, maybe I could put a towel over it. I thought, well, maybe it was the pillowcase I was using. I'll have to try some things. Maybe I can try a satin pillowcase on that one. Or a fake satin pillowcase. We'll see. I may have actually found a replacement pillow. Maybe. I think this one needs a little more stuffing to it, but it's actually Russell's new pillow that he got, so he's probably going to order another one, and when that one comes, then we'll fuck with the stuffing in this one. Alright, so, wow. Challenges. Blood. No, come back. I was running my mouth too long. Bloodthirsty. Soulsnuggles. Holy Priest. Dings level 40. So we've got a slash plead of 2 days. 19 hours. 3 minutes. and 22 seconds. Total kills to date for this character, because I like to look at that. 4,954. Alright, so let's go deal with our treasures.
But I do take gold and interesting trade-ins.
Okay, so let's start with the vendor trash. And we'll see what we've got from that.
Come back and barter
So 122 gold.
Knowledge is the best currency.
And we're gonna go ahead and vendor the greens. Like I said, we did replace shoes this week. And that's not gonna be very much. I'm not gonna worry about the meat until we leave this expansion.
Come back and barter sometime.
So 4, 5, 6, so probably like 127 if you do all the mathy things all the way out to the end, maybe 128, but something like that. Alright, so there's that one. And on to the next one. Now, we're gonna do, we're sitting the mage this week. We're gonna pop over to the hunter next, because I want to do the rogue last. This time through. If, you know, it ever decides to load. Okay. So we have a small plethora of items to vendor. We actually got 2 slumber powder and 4 horns this time through, so that was fun. Oh god. I was like, what the hell is that? I forgot you can fly out here now. Well, most people can. I can't. I have done nothing to get myself up to flight level. I mean, I really should do that, but, you know. Someday. Maybe. We'll get around to that. Eventually, 2 expansions from now. Okay. So, yeah, as much as I wanted to move on to the turtles for 55 to 56 into Siege Haven, it just wasn't happening.
I am out of range.
The turtles, I was able to kill more of them, but I was still, it was still taking a minute. A lot of the shots were missing, and I was actually pulling aggro at times off the turtle, and then they were chomping on my face, and I'm like, oh, that's not what we want at all. So, had to come back, reset. I mean, it was nice because the XP was 7 something a kill instead of 5 something, so we could have gotten somewhere maybe a little faster, but then again maybe not, because it was taking a little bit longer to kill the stuff. So, I mean, over here, kills have been going pretty quick. I am hoping that when we hit 56 we can actually
I need a target.
jump over to the turtle friends. I think they might be dark orange at that point. I'm hoping. But all in all, this one's been pretty good. Turtle's been doing pretty well. Next gear upgrade won't be until 57. And I'll probably have to pop out to Stormwind and go pick up the new gear and all that. So oh, that's not the mount I wanted. I've been trying not to use this mount in areas where I can't fly, so I don't forget that I can't fly and jump off of something. So there's reasons for the madness. I promise there are. They may not be the best reasons, but there are reasons. In my own little world. I feel like I've got nothing accomplished this week. It's been a very sleepy week. It's been getting hot. Again. And insomnia's been shitty lately. At least my ears are starting to improve, so I really do think it's an allergy issue. Because right now the one ear feels a little bit more clear than the other, so... we will see. Alright, we're gonna grab these guys up here. So I've been averaging about 2 bars of XP per level. I mean, not per level. Yeah, okay. Per rotation of the grind loop on the way to level. So we'll see if we can do this in one turn. I know I say that a lot. I should have a shirt that says we'll see. Like a big bug-eyed pinky on it. Oh, we're gonna let these two go through first, because I don't know if they're tagged together. I don't think they are. But I'd rather not experiment with this, because I've seen other instances where they are tagged together. And I just don't want to play that game, although I might be able to get by playing it with the hunter. I really don't want the gore mobs on myself. I'd rather keep them on the pet. Excuse me. Just because I only have that one heal ability, so I have a feeling I would not be able to feign death my way out of the gore. I have a feeling the gore dot would tick and it would pop me out of feign death. I could be wrong. I haven't tried it and I really don't want to. We're gonna keep that experiment to last resort. If at all possible. I will say this level, I think somebody was out here farming leather, because when I was getting to the end part of my loop multiple times, I came through and none of the mobs were up. And I was like, this is very odd, and I never saw the person. So I'm not sure where they were hanging out at, but it was very interesting. To say the least. Alright, and now we're down to the turtles that
I need to get
might
closer.
give us loot. Never know with these guys. I think I did about 2/3 of this section down here and didn't get anything to drop. Which was a little infuriating, I gotta tell you, because it's like, if I can get a scale or a claw from one, why can't I get it from everybody, you know?
I am out of range.
I don't know, just my thoughts on the matter. It's not like they drop anything else meaningful, like they don't. Sometimes they drop meat, if you're lucky. But I would go after other mobs for meat, honestly. Nope, nothing from that. Alright, so we've got a bar and a little bit. A bar segment. And we're gonna keep on going. As we try to get through this. I never did figure out what the hell was going on with the camera from Sunday. It's almost like it's just the way Twitch is communicating with
I do not have a target.
with my PC, or there's something about that camera and Twitch that suddenly don't like each other, because it wasn't always doing it and then it started doing it. I haven't figured out what the F is going on. It doesn't do it when I export the VOD to YouTube though. It's not there. It's not on the export. It's there on the VOD on Twitch. Very plainly. But on the exported version of the video, of the stream, it's not there. If it's there, it's barely noticeable. Because I made the husband watch it, and the husband's like, I don't see it. I'm like, yeah, if it's there, it's barely there. So we don't know what the hell's going on, and since everything that we tried doesn't seem to be fixing it, we may just have to cope with it for now, because I can't afford a camera replacement. And I don't know if a camera replacement's going to fix it. I really don't. But I don't have $100 to drop on a camera on a whim. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. So we're just going to have to cope with it, and I'm sorry. And we don't think the other camera's going to make a difference. The other camera tended to wash out a lot. So I don't know. If I can remember what the hell this camera is called, I mean, we could try unplugging it and replugging it. But, like, when I record stuff, that oddity doesn't show up. So I don't know. My recordings are clean, they're steady, they're fine. It's something on the communication end between Twitch and that camera. Like, I don't know what is happening. And sorry for the multiple test streams that we were doing later that day, trying to friggin' figure it out. I do apologize for that, but we were both completely baffled and kind of pissed. Because it's not doing it now, so it's not like a PC issue. I don't know. There's only one other possibility that I can think of, but it doesn't make sense because it should have been showing in the recorded version. Because I also did a test recording at that very time.
I need to
No,
target
come back.
something first.
I need your delicious XP center. But, like, I did have a fan on behind me. And the plastic bags that were hanging on the little curtain edge that's next to me, could have been moving the light, and there was a piece of parchment that I have half-acidly attached to my one light to try to help diffuse the light situation. That was fluttering. I don't know if Twitch was picking up the flutter and nothing else was. I find it hard to believe that Twitch would be picking it up and the recording wouldn't, but we'll try for Sunday. I'll try to not put that on, and we'll see what happens. That's the only other thing I can think of. Alright, so we got about, what, 2/3 of a bar left to go. We might need to kill a couple more after we get past the full circle point. We'll see.
I need to get closer.
I feel like it might not be quite enough XP between here and there. It depends. Like, if we were at half a bar, I'd be like, oh, we should be good, but because we were a little under half...
It is too far away.
For a second there, I thought I had tagged one of those horses. I was like, oh god. This is about to get ugly, but no, we're okay.
I need a target.
I need a target. Well, I mean, maybe, but... let's keep going. It's hot in our room today. And I can feel the heat radiating off of my back in between my shoulders. It's a very disturbing feeling. But our humidity has also come back up. Oh good, these guys are up.
I need to get closer.
That's good. That's always a good thing. It would be nicer if the moths were giving the same amount of XP as the horses, but they are a little bit easier to kill, so I can see why they're not. It's just slightly annoying. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to kill a couple of more mobs here, because these three aren't gonna do it.
I am out of range.
But that's okay. As long as we don't have to do another loop entirely, then I'm okay with that. But everybody was up this time through. No, don't hit me with gore. No, thank you. I don't want the gore on me. Yeah, so we've still got maybe... what do you think? 1/4 of a bar? Roughly? Maybe? Oh. Clicked off.
I do
Alright.
not have a target.
I don't like sticky targeting because it annoys the shit out of me.
I need to get closer.
So there's gonna be times where I accidentally click off on my mob. But it's okay, I'm sure the mob prefers it that way. Alright, now the question is how much further do we have to go past the full circuit? I was hoping to not have to leave this area right here, but
I am out of range.
we might not have that luxury. Oh, dang it. See, this is what I mean when I'm good at getting these guys to, glitch into the rocks. There we go. I mean, if you change where you're attacking them from, you can sometimes get them back out of the rocks, but I'm very good at getting them to glitch into the rocks. I'm not trying to make them do that, it just seems to happen that way. I guess their pathing and the way the rocks are sitting, and then they get caught, and it's very annoying when they evade. Trust me, I would rather not do it. But if you hit them at just the right angles, or the wrong angles, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Dang. Well, this level just doesn't want to end. Hey, we got over 200 umbral pelts. Don't know how you pronounce that. Alright. Come on. Let's have a ding, please. I would like to move on to the terrifying aspect that is going to be getting this rogue through the maw. Wow. This is taking quite a bit here. Saint Alfonso. Grumpy Old Tunes. Interesting.
I am out of range.
I didn't look. Were they a paladin? Still no ding. Yes, they were. Interesting.
I need to get closer.
I need to get closer. Sorry, I've got the verbal cues going. Do, 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 do. I know they can be annoying at times. There's our ding. Alright. Let's get our photo. Oh, can we get everybody in the shot? Kinda. Little guy's hiding back there. Alright. Let's go ahead and hearth back to Hero's Rest. Get our slash plead, and we'll get this guy, gal, sorted, and then we'll hop onto the rogue. Alright. So, WoW challenges. Bloodthirsty Kneesee. Things level 56. So she's getting there. Slowly. She's slowly digging through. Slash played 7 days. 10 hours. 10 minutes. 12 seconds. And our total kills to date on this one are gonna be 15,614. Oh, that would have been better if it had been 15,615, but what can you do? Alright, we're just gonna take a couple steps back. We'll pop the mammoth. So we're not standing on anybody. Alright, so this repair bill was a little bit more expensive than the lower repair bills that we've seen. So let's go ahead and start to vendor. And see what our vendor trash is at. 455 to 56. Alright, so we got 378 gold there. And I did actually get a crossbow, but the one I have is actually tons better. So I was like, oh man, really? I can't even upgrade my bow. So that was sadness. lot of this other stuff is, or are things that we couldn't do much of anything with. I could have tried to put them up on auction house, but the greens, like these specific greens, have been pretty low, and at times they've been selling close to what their vendor price is, and after auction house is cut, I think I'm losing money, so I might as well just vendor them and get the full amount out of it. So that was 508 from just the greens. We did pick up quite a few greens this time through, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So just under 900 gold for that level. Not too shabby. Well, this one did really have a good level with the greens. I was surprised at the amount that dropped. Oh, look at your doggy. Why do you have a doggy? Because you're a death knight. It's gotta be a talent or a trinket or a quest thing, because you've also got a skeleton back there. I don't know. This is odd. Alright. Time to swap. Alright, so remember we sat the mage this week because I want her to have another level spaced out on the rogue. Hopefully we survive. Not so sure we're gonna, to be perfectly honest. Really not so sure we're gonna, but we're gonna see. That's all we can do. I mean, we're gonna have to try at some point, so. Alright. Oh, I forgot. We still need to buy them gear. Okay. Do we have enough food? We're at 121. I'm kind of paranoid about food. I kind of want to have more food. Alright, we'll go with that. This all needs to get vendored. I tried auction housing this stuff once, but because it's not the current expansion, it didn't really sell, so.
Appreciate your patronage.
Alright. Well, it helps if I don't run into the wall either. So let's go ahead and we need to head back into Stormwind, but I'm nervous about that flight there. Oh. Right. So that's an interesting predicament. I never I never moved Legion Darlaran. You probably should. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. She just needed the instructions.
Okay. I probably should have. So I had another Hearthstone to work with. We're gonna have to rely on the boat to get back to Stormwind, and it's probably gonna drop us in Hillsbrad again. Because we don't.
Cancel my meeting with Wormbane. I want to depart immediately.
What? Oh. Okay. That's for things that I don't have the ability to do right now. Where's this boat come into? Down here, right? So, because I never moved that, I have to rely on the boat system. So, if you're on a Bloodthirsty, you can't open the portal room here. You have to either rely on your Hearthstones to get around, or the boats. I strongly... Hey, intro. I'm alright. How are you? Hanging in there. Another day. I strongly suggest if you're on a bloodthirsty, even if you don't level in Legion, you are allowed to do the 2 quests to move Darlaran from words, give me a second, from Northrend to Legion. You are allowed to do those 2 quests, the blink of an eye quest. Doing that, I mean, you have to skip the intro into Legion. But if you do the move the Darlaran quest, those 2 blink of an eye quests, they give you that Darlaran Hearthstone, do that. Even if you don't level there. I would stop in there and do it so that you get that extra Hearthstone to put you in Darlaran, to utilize the Stormwind portal, at the very least, because that portal is automatically open without any quests involved, and it just makes getting around a lot easier. I forgot I never did that with this one, and I had my Hearthstone set to Hatherford in case I ever left, just to make it easier to get back, because sometimes this boat is buggy. And I didn't want to have to take the Horde boat and go to Zoldazar or Dalazar, whatever the fuck it is. The Horde side, the Horde town, and have to fly or water walk over to Zabala to get back. But no, I'm okay. I'm just tired. Tired and my allergies are kicking my ass. Hope you're hanging in there. That you're doing alright. For a given value of alright. I know it's tough some days. Definitely feel ya. As much as I'm able to. Zandalar. Yeah, Zandalar. Coltiers. Zandalar Zone. Everything's got 5 different names. God damn it. Thanks, Blizzard. That's helpful. So effing helpful. Thanks so much. At least this is the last time we'll have to do this. Doesn't make it any less aggravating. And I don't know where our nearest flight point is. Probably Chillwind, actually. Because Arathi is probably, flipped by now. Yeah. Yeah, this is now, this is now the angry map, so... Ugh. Why? My own fault for not going and getting the flight point, or the Hearthstone, totally, but why can't there be a flight point out here? If you're gonna drop us out here, can we at least have a flight point? Like, the most inconvenient zone possible to be dropped in. Honestly. Like, we went through this with the iron. Because this is a horde zone now. There are no flight points that we can utilize. We have to either head to the dangerous Arathi area, which we ain't doing. Or you have to head up to Chillwind. I mean, most people probably have other Hearthstones to utilize, but I forgot to go get that, and that's a rare. I bet you he does like spikes out of the ground or like fire, like lava bursts and shit. I don't ever remember seeing him there before. Although I don't frequent up here, so that's not that surprising. I thought I had remembered there being like a rare spider on this road, but I think I only ever saw it once, so then I questioned as to whether I was remembering correctly. Like, I thought I had seen it on the road between here and there. Maybe I'm wrong? Or I did see one and I'm just remembering the wrong location.
Can I help you?
Yeah, you could have had the boat drop me in Stormwind. But since you chose not to. Super, super annoying. So annoying. So Momo has to have surgery in a week or two. I don't remember the date Russell told me. He put it in his phone, I think. He's had a bump on his neck that we noticed maybe 2 years ago. I think we noticed it shortly after we came back from Florida when we were on vacation, and we're like, ooh, what is this? We had the vet check it then, and they're like, oh, it doesn't really seem like it's anything to worry about. It doesn't feel like it's anything. They're like, I wouldn't worry about it. They thought it was like some kind of cyst or something. Like, if it breaks open, then we'll remove it, or that was terrifying. Oh my god. I was like, oh no, what is happening? As the ground is flickering and loading in. There we go. Or, you know, if it starts to get bigger, they're like, bring them back, and we're like, okay, well, we got scared because maybe a month or so ago we saw, I guess around the time when Zuzu was sick, and we had been shuttling him to the vet and he had to stay for a few days. We noticed right after that Momo had a couple more lumpy spots on his stomach, like between his ribs, and he's so skinny and he's got like no hair there that like we noticed it and we're like, oh, what is this? This wasn't here before. Where did this come from? So we got scared. We were finally able to make a vet appointment for that. That's why we were primarily going. That, and it felt like the thing on his neck had gotten bigger. It was still small, like it wasn't bigger than like the very tip of our pinky, but it still felt like it was sticking out more than it had been. So they biopsied the stuff on his stomach, and I don't think they got anything out of it. They're like, yeah, this is just...
They got fatty cells out
Oh,
of
they
it.
did? Okay.
Yeah, so they know nothing in there.
Okay, so the stuff on his stomach was just fatty tissue. So they're like, that's fine. Don't worry about it. The thing on his neck, though, they said, oh, no. They said, what did they say was a cancerous gland, or a gland that had turned cancerous or something? And they didn't think it was going to spread. They felt pretty confident that it was going to be self-contained, but the fact that he keeps scratching it is going to be a problem, so he's going to have that removed in like 2 weeks, or in another week or something. Maybe 2 weeks. I lost track of time. I don't know. Russell's got the appointment notated, and they usually tend to call us a day or two to remind us, since he can't have food or water after midnight for that. And they're also going to try to shorten up his nails a bit, because we've been having trouble keeping those in check. And they're like little friggin' daggers coming at you, but when he jumps up at you, he sliced my arms open and my legs a few times. I mean, we try to cut them, but his nails are black, so it's hard to find the quick line in there. And we're so afraid we're gonna hurt him. And then, you know, outside forces, we forget, like, in a week to come back and try to hit it again, you know, after we gave the quick some time to recede back up the nail. And, before we know it, it's been like 3 weeks since we last did it, and we're like, shit. And so they're gonna try to shorten up his nails a little bit while he's in there, because he's gonna be under. And then Zuzu went and got sick like the day after we took Momo to the vet, or that night actually. And it kind of felt familiar, like he was acting sort of the same way as when he had gotten sick last time. But I think we recognized it fast enough this time, and we were able to get him into our normal vet like the next day. And so they gave us all the same medication that he had the last time, and he's acting normal and he's bouncing. We're just waiting for a normal potty run, but he's got to finish out the medication regardless because he started it. But we're like, really, dog? Like, at first I was thinking he just had himself so upset when Russell left with Momo to go to the vet appointment, because he was whining and crying the whole time. I was like, oh, he just got himself so worked up that he made himself sick. But it looked the exact same potty consistency from when he was ill the last time, and we're like, alarm bells immediately started going off, and we're like, no, we're not fucking around this time. We're not going to give it a day. He's going now. Because last time he kind of spiraled. We don't know if he spiraled quick or if we hadn't noticed it and just thought, you know, oh, just something he ate had upset his stomach, and we were just kind of, we're like keeping an eye on it, but we were trying not to do a panic vet visit. But they felt him up, and I think they sort of agreed with what we thought we were seeing, because they didn't seem to argue about giving us the medication. They're like, here. So that's fun. We need a frequent visitor card with our vet, because they're making a buttload off of us this month. I think Zuzu was Bear husband. I think
yes.
my mom's calling you. I think it was like 160 for Zuzu. I think it was 65 for Momo's visit, and then his surgery is gonna be like 250 estimate. And I'm like, oh goddamn, like animals. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, they are older. I keep losing track of how old they are. I keep thinking they're older than they are. I finally found the date when I posted their puppy pictures on Facebook from some time ago, and they'll be 8 this year. So I keep thinking they're like 9. But like I said, time has a weird way or I have a weird way of accounting for time, shall we say. Alright, so we've learned this is the better way to go, even though I don't want to spend the money. Oh, you know what? We can't use any of these, so we might as well take those off. Thank you for those filters. Those will come in handy. Oh boy, yeah, we're not paying all of our money for one helmet, that's for damn sure. This may backfire. What's wrong?
Your mother is making boxed macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
So apparently she needs help.
The directions are on the box.
Yeah, so she didn't realize that she could use a half-cup measuring cup. She thought she had to use the half cup for your pouring thing.
Well, dry and liquid do measure a little differently.
Is it different enough to care at that volume?
I don't know. It is just macaroni and cheese. I mean,
Are either one of those specifically dry measuring units? Because I've been using them for wet and dry.
I've seen videos where people compare the dry measuring utensils to the wet measuring cups, and there is a difference.
And have we actually bothered with that ever ourselves?
I don't think so.
Then I think our mac and cheese will survive.
But then again, I tend to use the mac and cheese that doesn't involve needing any extra.
It's all the same thing. It's not that big.
That's level 39. Is that really an upgrade? Okay, it's a small upgrade. I didn't want to quite go that low. Wow, why is there no... Like, for real? Yo, I'm not spending $700. 700 gold. For that. I ain't. I don't have it. Oh, Lord. Let's bring up our... Oh, we can't. Well, alright. Let's see what else we can find. What about shoulders? We have to redo our... Oh my goodness. Why is leather gear so expensive, y'all? This makes no damn sense. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. That's not even that much of an upgrade. Item level 56. I mean, it's 3 stamina, but... Are they really attacking? Well, I guess we'll buy that one. What is happening? Here's someone fighting. Or it sounded like someone fighting. Maybe they're playing with a toy or something. Alright, chest. Because I closed out, I have to redo my filters again. Like, this is crazy. Requires level 50, 700 gold. What? Like, this is crazy. So that's eye level 52. The Silent Jerkin of the Fever Flare. What does this even look like? That fighting noise is annoying. Like, why? So that's requires level 44. Well, we certainly don't have $25,000 or 25,000 gold to spend on this. Really? Like, this is insane. This is absolutely insanity. Alright. We're gonna go bankrupt on this. Alright. Well. Guess we'll grab that. Legs we definitely... See, look! 99 gold. Where are those prices? That's what I'm looking for. Like... we can do that. Absolutely. Like, these are more my prices, yo. Do we have any crit in here? Oh, we do. Alright, what about wrists? What do we got here? See, these are more the prices I was expecting. I guess leather's a harder to get item to drop, although I will say I don't remember seeing very much in the way of leather drops myself. But we are trying to give us the best possible chance to survive this here. So hands. Okay, so legs were super cheap, right? No. Those three were super cheap. We did spend some money on that. Although, why do I now see? Really? Of course. Waste. Alright, let's go see. I think we need a cape. We're gonna check cape. Cloak. What? Oh my. So nothing's up that we can use yet, is what you're telling me. So there are capes here. What the fuck? We can use that. I mean, it's probably not ideal, but... Alright, weapons. Oh, this is gonna be... This is gonna be fascinating. Interesting. I'll close that. I guess that's that. It's a slight... It's like a side grade. 9-second damage, or... Well, it's an upgrade for the one thing. Really? Fascinating. I mean, this is on one-handed, but... I mean, our weapons are gonna do something for us, but I don't know if I can use maces. Alright, let's go back to... What about fist weapons? Because I think I can use a fist weapon. Really? I mean, we got that. What do we have here? I mean, that's a big improvement off of somebody. Do we do... Can we do 2 fist weapons? Is that possible? Do any of these require a certain type of weapon? We're not going after, I think we need a... No. I think we need a dagger to sap. I could be wrong though. It just says it requires stealth. Maybe some sort of weapon. Me spending all this time trying to friggin' upgrade my gear. I'm sorry, you guys. It's 11 crit. I kind of want to try it. I know that's a lot of money to try something, but let's see what we can do. I thought we had to have a dagger to sap, but that may have changed. Oh shit, I bought 2 chest pieces? I did, because I'm dumb. Alright, so shoulders we're replacing. Cape we're replacing. Hands definitely getting replaced, because those were some... Oh yeah, those were some older hands. My goodness. Item level 17. Alright, we'll replace that. Shoes. Shoes weren't too old, but those definitely needed replacing. Alright, what the hell was this? Okay, so we ended up... Alright, we didn't get a hat, because the hat was just way too expensive. What? What do you mean I have one equipped? I just bought the same fucking thing I have on. Oh, okay, but it's still higher item level. Alright. So 15 agility. This one's got more crit, but oh boy, we're a hot mess. Alright, that's annoying. So I don't know if we can get away with having both of these on. We'll see. I'm gonna hold that in case I have to swap out. I mean, I did have 2 swords. Well, it's still acting like I can. It's not grayed out or anything. Alright. Let's go and vendor this mess. Our health isn't as high as I would like it to be, but we didn't replace the hat. So we lost some hit points there. And we also don't have a necklace or trinkets, and the rings are very old, so you know, it is what it is.
See you around.
Alright, let's mount up. I kind of want to... I mean, we probably should transmog, but I'll leave that till we get to Oribos. Let's get there first, because we don't want to waste even more money. Yes, we need to go. That's... Oh, that's not the quest I thought it was. Can we stop tracking that, at least, and make that go away? Because that's going to keep coming back every time we come back into the city.
You need only
Okay, we're here, Darian.
we do.
Alright. The cutscene that we've all seen 5,000 times. And I don't want to waste time going through that again. I'm sure you all can watch it.
Stronghold of the Ebon Blade has moved to Icecrown Citadel. My death
We might not have time to get to the iron today, so I'm just looking at what time it
Lord
is.
Bolvar Foredragon has recovered from his battle with
It's my fault
Sylvanas
for not getting up early, but
He awaits
we'll
us,
see.
along with our allies.
We'll see how far we get on this one, because, you know, if we die within 10 minutes of getting in there,
Key leaders, the
we'll have time to work
Bastion
on the
attacked
iron.
Icecrown. She cut a path to the frozen throne and seized the helm of domination.
Eat
To
a
the
plane?
side, and you will see the results of her actions. I have never beheld
Was
anything
that
like this.
meant to be?
But shattering the helm also freed Bolvar Foredragon from the burden of being the Lich King.
Is that meant to be dirty, or am I just reading it wrong?
The peace remains
Either's
tenuous.
possible.
These are troubled times. Our
What up,
people need
Bolvar?
stability. Alliance and Horde
We're
alike.
here again. Oh, hey. Well, I guess we can wait till we get into the mall.
It tore a gaping wound through the
But I may forget.
our world and the Shadowlands. During my vigil upon the frozen throne, I caught fleeting glimpses into the realms of death. Among them, I saw a place of inescapable
Could we start this sooner?
darkness.
Like, I can listen to you and drag an item across the ground at the same time.
If you are to save those Sylvanas has taken, together we can open the way. Place the shards of domination around the circle when the helm rested.
I love how these guys leave the circle, but then when you're still in the middle of doing this, the Death Knights step into the circle, and it's like, excuse me, coming through, you need to move, because I need to get by you.
A dark presence at the edge of my consciousness. Not Arthur's, not theirs. I dare not travel with you.
I
Even
dare
free
not
of
travel
hell,
with you, but then you come through the gateway
come bound to the will of its
and
true
show up
master.
in Oribos? How?
This threat cannot be left unchecked.
I guess through the piece of the
Therefore
helmets.
you must venture where I cannot.
Where's, oh,
The
there it is.
dangers you face will be considerable.
Do,
Alone,
do, do.
you may well be outmatched. To aid in this task, the Knights of the Ebon Blade shall lend you their strength.
That's nice, but could you, like, wait for them to step into the circle till I'm on the last piece?
Living mortals
That would
were
have been
never
more helpful.
intended to cross beyond the veil. Where you are going,
Although I think they did delay stepping in that time.
but there is no other.
But I did have
course.
to step
Death
through them a
comes
little
to
bit over
claim
there.
Azeroth. It falls to you. The path opens.
Is it a good
Your
day to die?
courage will be remembered,
I hope we don't die.
Aldiel Shalar.
Find those who were taken
Um,
and bring them home.
I'm not going into this one
Rescue the
or this attempt with
The
much
banshee
confidence.
Is mine to kill.
This is
Taronda,
not a
don't
strong
do this.
class for me.
We cannot lose you to the darkness.
This is gonna be an experience. That's all I can say. It's gonna be an experience. And I hope that a couple of our armor upgrades will help us.
Perhaps she charged the weapons to chaos.
I'd like to know how we survived that. Like, if I'm glowing that hot from coming through, how is my armor not A, seared to my skin, and B, burnt off?
We are driven by a single purpose: retribution.
Oh boy.
We will see through to the bitter end.
Not looking forward to this.
Remains.
Not at all. Alright, we got our poisons on. We're stealthed. Darian actually stealthed with us, so that was interesting. We did see that a little bit
Fight your way out of here. We will meet you ahead.
when we were testing. I still find it fascinating. I mean, it's a good thing. Completely. Come on, Darian. Let's deal with... I got so conditioned to hit that. Like, after the first round of fighting. From all those levels in Tiergard. I didn't really need to hit it there. Oh, they're not. Okay. Other ones that were being held, we didn't have to click. As soon as we freed them. Oh, maybe because those ones were actively fighting and these guys weren't. I'm not sure. That could be the difference. Why am I in combat? I do not understand. But that makes things a little bit more difficult.
We are establishing a forward position. Go. Make sure we hold it.
I don't want to be in combat. Go get him, Darian. Go. Because for some reason I'm in combat. No, I'm not. Okay. So we still need to rally a few Death Knights. So I never actually did manage to go back and redo this on the test character that I accidentally deleted before I wanted to. So I don't know how this is gonna fully play out. My bad. I will definitely have to redo this on a test character though to figure out what the hell I can attack. That was pointless. In the mall? Or in Bastion, excuse me. Yeah, good job, me. And I tried to bring back that trial class, and because it was a trial class, they're like, no, you deleted it, it's gone.
Speak your peace.
Alright, this is the quest, the Ruiner's End, that I am the most nervous about. Okay, we got all of those. We're not turning either one of those in yet, though. Because one of them we lose Darian, and I can't remember which one it is. So I'm just not gonna. I do kind of need to deal with you all here real quick though. Because, I need to have room to run. Darian, we're not done. We're not done, Darian. Alright. Is there like nobody out here today? Well, it certainly seems that way. He's still got some health on him. Alright, Darian, my friend. Go, go, go. Go. Alright, we're gonna try to hang out over here. And hope this goes well. We've got our boy in there. We're probably gonna have something walk up on us. I would not be surprised, but I dare not get closer. Because I don't want to risk getting pulled in by the chains. So this time's gone much better. Much better.
We rally up ahead. Go!
I kind of want to loot him.
We can here. Let's get moving before reinforcements arrive.
Yes, that would be a grand idea, Darian. Let's go. So that was much better than when we came through on the test character. That particular spot. But I think we also had a better approach on that one.
We know much
Maybe.
about sacrifice.
Alright, so we've got our... We need help button for the rest of the Death Knights.
Try not to draw unwanted attention.
Alright.
Keep an eye out for clues that point to the whereabouts of our allies.
So we got through the first sticky spot with this character.
Frost magic. Looks like the work of our friend.
We can still be stealthed as a rogue and check off that
The
point.
conflict seems to move in this direction. We should follow the trail before it grows cold.
Shut up, Darian. Just no. 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 Just don't.
More
Alright,
of
so
many crowd
there's the
wars
sheeped
can
mob.
It would be unwise to break the enchantment.
This thing
Let's move
is
along.
neutral, but it's also an elite and level 55, so I think we're gonna give them some room. And we're gonna go this way. And we're gonna tag this.
The Lord Admiral is truly formidable.
Or not tag it, but trigger that.
Monstrosities. Hold. What's that up ahead?
Darian, we really shouldn't be holding out here in the middle.
Ahead.
Just
It's leading right.
saying. I understand we're stealthed, but that's not a wise idea.
Looks like we
Okay,
secured
so
the Lord Admiral.
this is gonna be our next problem spot.
Thank the light you found us. A single
The Blackened
spark,
Wings
and you
quest
stayed
isn't
here. Can you
too
walk, Thrall?
bad.
I
You have to watch your feet on this though,
thank you for coming to my aid.
because if you get a blue swirl, you're about to get dive bombed. You have to move. You cannot tunnel vision on this on a challenger.
Be ready.
100% absolutely cannot.
Struggle all you like, mortals. You cannot escape your fate.
Don't know if that cutscene is necessary, but okay. See, like that circle there. I'm sure we'll have one pop up under us at some point. So we're gonna have to definitely keep an eye out And we can't really stealth mid-fight here. Oh, ow. That hurt. Watch your health, you are squishy. You are a squishy critter. So I'm gonna stealth here for just a sec. Alright, yo, Darian. Darian, why aren't you helping?
Your chains will be eternal.
I do have to keep clicking that box off. No, we should probably... I don't think I can move that. Is that not my Darian? That might not be my Darian. It looks like my Darian. Alright, let's go after this one. Dude's hunter pet just freaked out.
We're overrun. I'm getting us out of here.
So we need one more mob. Darian's about to get dive bombed. Alright, I guess that hunter is no longer AFK. That kill did not count for me. And why? Oh, I was gonna say, it's acting like I'm still... It's very chaotic in there.
The illusion won't hold for long. Hurry.
I almost want this hunter. Maybe we should go with the hunter. Maybe we should give the hunter a second, because I don't know if I want to be in the same exact phase as the hunter. Because shit might start really going wrong. I'm gonna give them a minute. I wanted our health to be full anyhow. That we're gonna put down there. Alright, that's all vendor trash. Okay.
The time for dreaming is over. I will never forget. I will do what I can.
Alright, now this quest is the escort. This is
Careful who you trust.
problematic at times. Now, if you have ways to break combat, like your Vanish or Fiend Death, you might fare a little bit better. Your Prowl, where you can kinda hang back a little bit. We've found that if you're unstealthed recently, that they tend to all come after you instead of the NPCs first, which is troubling, especially if you're an iron,
Let's hurry.
because you don't have as many hit points to work with. So definitely recommend testing this. It's a little better on the bloods. It's a little better if like you have stealth or any emergency drop combats. Fuck. Like I said, you really gotta watch your feet because it happens pretty steadily, pretty constantly. No, I'm gonna get hit. Little help, guys. Little help, guys. Little help. Little help would be good.
Lord Admiral, before we
So that was...
Nah. See any sign of the night warden?
Veranda. Here. No, I
So,
have not.
the swirls keep happening the entire time that you guys are running to the cave. They don't happen just at those two key points.
An ancient
So,
ritual
you
used
definitely
to
don't want to
retain
AFK there.
power.
Keep moving, keep paying attention, keep watching your feet. I'm gonna step back into the cave entrance here.
I've had enough of your cages.
I mean, I make it look like not that bad, but if you're on an iron, it's gonna be a bit more sticky. Because yeah, like I said, you don't have a whole lot of health points to work with there. Stomach's growling. I don't know if my mic picked that up or not, but okay, I'm gonna tap that just in case.
is
Oh, hit that
useless
too late.
to exist.
In here.
Everything still sounds distorted to me. It's getting better slowly. It's not as bad as it was, but the sounds still have a slight robotic edge to them, so
Should be safe enough here. for the
everything
moment.
sounds a little strange.
When you first arrived, I wasn't sure if you were even real, or if you were just another illusion meant to torment us. I was beginning to lose hope that I'd
Alright,
see
so we made
anyone
it to the
from our
halfway
world
point.
again.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna have time for the iron today, just looking at the time, because we still have to get through this section. Oh, there's that hunter. Hunter is PvP flagged.
A long road lies before us.
Alright, so we'll turn that
I
in.
know what must be done.
Let Gina
Control
tell
your
her
power.
little
Very well.
ice story.
Let's begin.
I'm probably one of the
Denizens
few
call this
people that
realm the
just
Maw.
gets annoyed by
From what
Gina.
I've gathered, it
Like
was
I know a lot of
intended
people
as a
like
prison
Gina.
for the
I
most
kind of
foul,
don't.
irredeemable souls that ever
I feel like
existed.
she's a little long-winded,
Something
but
has changed. Pure, noble souls are being held
just something
captive
about
here
her
as
just
well.
greatly
They cry
annoys
out
me.
in torment.
Indeed. And one of their tormentors, and ours, is Sylvanas Windrunner. It seems she has made a powerful ally. The Shades whisper of someone called the Jailer.
And this is not something that we can fast forward through,
We know
so
little about him, but it's clear he has taken
not a
special
cutscene. We can't
interest in
not do
us.
this.
He has personally overseen our treatment here.
We have endured countless torments. At times, it felt as if we were being tested. Though for what purpose, I cannot say.
Whatever this Jailer and the Banshee are planning, it won't end well for any of us. The Alliance
you're a big
will
ass
endure.
dinosaur.
I caught glimpses of Bane and Anduin during my attempts to break free. They live. That's all I know for certain. But I have found no means of leaving them all. I can only manage to teleport short distances. This nightmare feels inescapable.
Countless souls are now pouring into this realm. Some have been here for untold ages. Perhaps one of them knows a way out.
I can scarcely imagine the horrors such spirits have endured. I fear there's nothing left of them to save.
Oh,
They
itchy eyes,
manifest
and I've got
as
smudges all
malevolent
over my
shades
glasses.
that wander the darkness. I doubt they
Rather
really
annoying.
help us.
Knights of the Ebon Blade have ways to compel the dead to speak. If we seize one of them, we can extract its secrets.
Like, this is okay the first or second time through, but by the time you get to the 5th time through this, it's like,
We cannot let the
can
world
we
fall
go?
apart.
Can we speed this up, please?
We all have
We've
our
been here
faults.
before.
For us, there is no peace, no rest.
Alright. I understand they put a lot of work into this, but I also don't enjoy the fact that they did not put a skip through this section in. Especially if you are a big altaholic. It makes this section absolutely just too much at times. Okay, I did try to stop him, and he's like, nope. Because he's a ghost or whatever, I guess.
Use the helm while it's weakened.
Use the helm.
At last, the true.
All of them are going that way. We're gonna go this way. Because I don't want to get caught up in whatever's gonna happen when those guys come back to their stationary locations. At least it stops you from killing the mobs in this part, because it takes your ability away to hurt them. So it forces you to use the helmet, so you don't get too carried away. Be like, no, I must murder you, and then it's like, oh, we have to what now? better if we could pull you back just a little bit further. Alright. We still need one more. And I think we'll go with this one just to try to give us some more room to maneuver around on this next guy.
Useless. These souls are too fragmented. There must be another way. This target poses a considerable threat. I will signal the Ebon Blade for assistance.
Actually, we're gonna do this way. There's not a whole lot we can do here. That's probably one we could have gotten away with not doing. Oh, I think I might have actually interrupted that frickin' fear that sends you halfway across the section. Actually nice having a interrupt. Though I'm not sure if I'd rather have a better heal.
Harness your hate. Make it useful. You're coming with us.
Well, he was already coming with us until, you know, whether I had stopped to turn that in or not, he was coming with us. There was no choice being given in this matter.
The way forward will not be.
Fire mage.
Be careful who you trust.
Alright, so now we have to go find Anduin. There should be...
Once we find Anduin, my staff will serve as an anchor.
So, I mean, you can get some food in here.
All set.
But
Let's get
actually,
moving.
the food that we bought in Hatherford before we left is better. Are you both gonna stealth with me? Okay, good. So... that's something. Whew, okay, now we're definitely in uncharted waters because I did not take that test character this far. There's that hunter. I really should have, but that escort was the primary thing I was concerned about. Excuse me, at the time. I mean, these two were stealth. We probably could have gotten through here fine, but... yes, burn my mana. Burn it to the ground. Please do. I want Darian back. You two. Are terrible at fighting. I just want to get that out there. Oh, fuck. Alright, so we've got 3 to deal with. I don't know if this dog is going to see me. And I don't want to deal with 3. So I'm just going to sit here for a second and see if... okay, he didn't see us. Alright. That's terrifying. Alright, can we... can we dance around you? In the hopes of speeding up this. Alright. We're going in the right direction. Don't fall off the edge of this. There's a gap there somewhere. I think the gap might be over there. I fell through it the one time. Not fun. Don't recommend. It will kill you. Okay, the big dude can definitely see us, so. Definitely need to.
It's too far away.
Be on our guard here. Come on, friends. We still need to deal with this. Alright. We can proceed forward now. There's gonna be 2 on each side of this door. I don't think we can pickpocket these things because, like, they're dead, right? So they've got no pockets. It helps if I don't unclick the target. Alright. I'm out of range. But I don't think I need to deal with you.
This is the Tremaculum. Here, souls are tormented, twisted into wretched shades.
Last I saw Anduin, they were taking him to the tower above. We need to find a way up there.
Could you guys, like, whisper?
Here.
Because, you know, even though we're stealthed, other people can still hear us. Don't step on the spikes. They do hurt. Don't be like Jaina and Thrall and run through them.
There's Anduin.
Sylvanas, what does she want with him?
Okay, so we found
The
that.
true battle lies ahead.
Now we have
You
to be
won't
all sneaky.
Succeed.
Such a narrow vision. You disappoint me. No matter. We will find what we seek. In another.
And yeah, don't forget, if you guys are streaming any of your challenge stuff,
I will live.
or if you're just tweeting
I'm
about
relieved
it,
you're all safe.
don't forget to use the hashtag
These bonds are too strong to
all
break by
challenges, so that
force.
way we can keep track of
We
what
must
you guys are
find a way
doing.
to free him.
And help celebrate your triumphs and commiserate your losses.
Greetings, friend. Victory in the light.
Okay, we have our next 2 objectives. We need to get keys to free the others, and we need to get Anduin's keys. Alright, so you didn't give us a key? No, you didn't. How dare thee not give us a key? Hunter has caught up to us. Are you gonna give us a key? Yes.
Find the cave on the other
Alright,
side.
so
of
there's
the castle.
3. Oh, there's a lot of people
Our
up
allies
here.
will protect you there.
Now it's getting busy. Alright, so we need to go back down to continue. I think we're going to head up to get Anduin's key next. This one could be a bit of a pain, because it will involve us being in close quarters with this dude. Alright, go friends, go.
Will be broken.
Somebody just came up behind us. So, hey, that's fine. I guess that makes dealing with this elite a little less terrifying. That dude's decided to pull out. Please be careful when you go down these steps. It is open air on either side, and if you're not paying attention and you go off the edge, you're gonna die. There is no help for you at that point. It is very busy over here tonight, huh? This is crazy. We haven't seen it this busy in a while. Oh my god, people, what are you doing? What is even happening right now? Could we not bring more mobs to my problem? Like... Do not appreciate. At all. Did we get a key out of all that? We didn't even get a key. So it does get a little hairy in here when there are multiple people killing stuff. It's going to affect the respawn rate greatly. Oh, for fuck's sake, Fire Mage. Could you not? Could you not? I found my own mob. The thing that concerns me the most about being in this area is the fact that normal characters are geared out the wazoo normally, and they will just Leroy Jenkins their way into this because they don't think anything about what other people's gear situations could be or what they're doing, and they could just be like, lol, I'm gonna pull the whole room, you're gonna help me kill it all. And it's like what now? Excuse me, no. And they will pull more than they can kill, thinking that other people will pile in and help them kill it. And I'm like looking for the emergency exit button, and I'm like, no. Don't be bringing your crazy into this. I didn't sign up for that shit. Alright, this one's kind of just out here, out in the open. So let's deal with this one first. So it does make me nervous when there's a lot of other people around, because I don't know what they're gonna do. Where are you going? You're going that way. Okay. I understand I'm stealthed and they can't see me when I'm stealthed, so I can see them going. I can see us going to pull the mobs at the same time, but when I am around, invisible, it's like, no. Alright, we do have another cage key. But we do need to find a cage that has... I was trying to find a cage that had like more than two, but
Ebon Blade forces are positioned nearby.
the majority seem to only have two. Alright, we need 5 more. And we do seem to be out of keys. So let's go ahead and get this guy. No key. Not that surprising because they were a sentry and not a warden, but I don't know if that makes a difference actually. I haven't been paying attention. And I just hit kick there completely unnecessarily. Alright, so coming down here might be a little sticky. if we're careful, we might be able to do this okay. Maybe. Alright, where are you going? Oh, so you do patrol over here. Okay. That's good to know. Because I didn't know that. Okay, so that's a key. We're gonna go ahead and let you guys out. And let's come back up here, see what's happening. Got people running all over willy-nilly up here. Do not like. Really, we're one short. Okay. Well. There's a mob. There's two mobs, actually. Alright, let's see about getting this guy. Learning that I need to interrupt now. That's always a good thing to remember, to try to lessen the damage coming in. What did this do? Oh, Shroud of Concealment. Okay. Some of these I probably won't ever use. So sometimes I forget what they do. That's a very bad thing to do. But, I do have to keep reminding myself what some of these spells do. Alright, Hunter has just freed Anduin.
Thank you, champion. I feared I would never be free of those shackles.
We should
Turn
move quickly.
these in.
Are you fit to travel?
Be
My
vigilant.
ability to
I will
teleport
be
is
fine
limited.
once this place is
I
behind
should be
us.
able to open a
Lead
portal
on.
back to my staff's location.
Let's get the hell out of there.
Those wounds look serious, Thrall. Let me tend them.
Alright, and let's talk to Darian. Darian, what has happened while we've been gone?
Our friend has something to speak. How do we leave this place?
Futile! The path sealed long ago.
So there is a way out. Tell us where to find it.
To the Waystone. Dr. Cauldron. No. Dormant. Broken.
Blah, 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 blah.
Escapes the maw.
Could you make sense of what it said, Lord Admiral?
The cauldron it spoke of lies beyond the River of Souls. I believe Bane is being held captive there.
Then it seems our course is clear.
Alright, Darian.
All is not lost. Not yet.
I will do what I
Cannot
can.
leave these innocent
I will
souls
never.
alone to their fate.
Alright.
Our remaining forces will remain on guard here.
As our group gets larger
You're
and harder
troubled,
to
Thrall.
conceal.
What is it?
Still no sign of Tyrande. We cannot leave her alone in this nightmare.
I'm surprised
Agreed.
Thrall
We have no
gives such a
idea
shit
how to find
about Tyrande.
We will do our best, but this waystone may be our only means of escape.
Like, were they
There's a
on
way out of the maw.
good terms or no?
There has to be
Because,
a way back in. We will return for her.
I mean, I guess Thrall's been more of a diplomat, but I thought the only one on the Alliance that he never really
I hear something stirring.
felt aggression to was Jaina. I could be wrong.
Coming darkness.
Wretched? I heard you were soundly beaten by a force of wretched champions, witch.
You will pay for that insult! The skies of your world will be darkened by the wings of my Maulsworn!
For Azeroth!
There's our fire mage.
Drown among the souls of the damned!
What is this madness?
I don't know, but let's not stand here.
It's unbearable.
Keep moving!
Yes, Anduin's the only one that speaks with any sense whatsoever.
Look, on the precipice above. Is that
The way forward, the jailer. The
pitiful mortal? I find your spirit unworthy. Bane! No!
His wounds are mending, but his spirit remains weakened.
I love how they were able to sneak all the way out there and grab Bane and drag him back. He's not a small being. Okay, so the one bad thing about what we're about to do is how many people are bunched up in this section. So respawn is definitely something we have to be thinking about and be able to handle. Thrall, you coming? Because I don't really have time for your nonsense. Let's just, you know, pick something and make do. You're the one that threw your weapon. Your favorite weapon. Your only weapon. Not a smart move, buddy.
Staves, but at least it won't break in a melee. Let's keep looking.
I did keep looking. You're dragging your feet.
A serviceable weapon, though I've never understood why the Alliance seems so fixated with swords. Too much blade, not enough pack.
Oh, shut up, Thrall. Just find a weapon, okay? We don't have all day at Weapon Mart. We're kind of trying to save Bane, remember?
Too long a handle.
Look here, Goldilocks.
Better than nothing, I suppose. Let's take one more look.
No, let's not take one more look. How about you just pick something? Really, Thrall? Really? Thrall, why are you whirlwinding? Uh-oh. We had a doo-doo-doo? I missed who the donation was. I can't read it. But thank you. Oh, it's Rod! Should have known. Thank you very much for the donation. I greatly appreciate that. Oh my god, we found him a weapon. It's a miracle.
Warrior's weapon.
There should be like choir singing and like the little ring of light from the Elders Festival and like doves bursting forth from the weapon rack, like all of the things, because we finally found him a weapon. Yay. I'm okay. How are you? Hanging in there. It's very hot here today. You can tell how hot it is outside because of how hot it is in our room. Which is annoying, but we're trying to keep the electric bill down a little bit because I think a fan's a little bit cheaper to run than another air conditioning unit, so it's a little sticky. And the dogs, you know, both dogs are sick at the same time, kind of. Well, Momo's not really sick, but Momo has to have surgery, which is always concerning when your doggos get up there in age. Oh my goodness. Are we never gonna get the dagger that we need? Holy heck. They're just dragging this whole section out. We just finished the Enderhall quests in... Oh, that's a thing. Did you survive? Because those are very, very scary. I would never touch them myself, but then again, I'm usually on very squishy characters. Hunter might be able to. Maybe Powley. Or were you doing this on a normal and not a challenger? Oh. Does the dagger not exist anymore? I usually get the dagger pretty quick within finding his frickin' weapon, but then again, someone else has joined the party. There were a lot of mobs missing, so we were able to hit the weapon racks in pretty quick succession. There's the dagger.
The dagger. Bane's blood still stains its blade.
You did all the quests there, but protection, paladin, iron. Oh, you are a brave soul, sir. Very brave. I would not be brave enough to do that myself, because things would get very chaotic in there on a challenger at times.
Loktar.
How do you do a bloodthirsty in Shadowlands if you can't take the quests? Are these quests allowed under new rules? Sorry, I haven't done any challenge stuff since Shadowlands. Okay, so for bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty is a bit of an odd entity. No, you're not supposed to quest. However, there are certain quest exceptions listed in the rules because there's some sections where it either makes the quality of your challenge a lot better, or in past expansions that was the only way to transition into the new area. So you're allowed to skip the intro into Legion. Or you have to skip the intro into Legion. You can't do those quests. But Bloodthirsties are allowed to move Darlaran from Northrend to Legion. So that's like 2 quests you're allowed to do there. And then you get a Hearthstone from there. You're not allowed to do any intro quests into BFA because you don't need to. You can just take the boat to travel back and forth and go from Stormwind to Tiergard and Tiergard to or Tolkien or Coltiris. Or Coltiris too. Hillsbrad. You're supposed to go back to Stormwind, but you don't. Not all the time. Oh, fuck me. Okay, that didn't hit us. That's good. Shadowlands is a whole nother duck of a multicolored feather altogether. So even though things scale to a degree, the mobs in BFA, I think they gray out somewhere between 53 and 56, I think. And your XP is going to drop per kill out there pretty steadily, I think, after 51. So we could not get by not going to Shadowlands. So it's a lot of quests, but the whole Maw sequence from starting in Stormwind with Darien and going through the motions into Oribos are allowed. We then realized that you can't leave Oribos without doing the quests there, where you have to walk around the city and tour it and open a gateway into Bastion. So all of the quests from the very beginning in Stormwind up until your arrival into Bastion have been allowed for the Bloodthirsties. So you won't be penalized for doing those because we have no other option. There was no other way for us to level. And max level's not 50, it's 60. So they were, I don't want to say begrudgingly, but we weren't happy about having to allow the quests, let alone that many, because I think it comes down to 32 quests when it's all said and done. I think was the total number, 32 to 35, something like that. But once you get into Bastion and you talk to Clea or whatever the frig her name is, and you turn that quest in for arriving, that's it, you're done. Can't do any more quests. Threads of Fate had originally been allowed for Bloodthirsties, so you can move between the zones. However, after we allowed it, it came to our attention that you are being given quest credit the second you turn in Threads of Fate for every storyline campaign quest between every single zone. And that's a problem, because the tracker wasn't set up to account for that. So it is on the to-do list for our code team to look at. They're very backed up and very, very busy. So until we can figure out what we're going to do with that, Threads of Fate has been disallowed. You can no longer do Threads of Fate on a Bloodthirsty. Just to make things a little bit simpler. So you have to stay in Bastion. Once you get there, that's where you're at. There is a level gap since you don't have Threads of Fate. So mobs will go up to like 53, and then they jump from 53 to 60. Now, the 53 mobs will still give you XP, and they will still count on the kill tracker until you're able to go after the level 60 mobs, but you will be killing green mobs for a little bit. There's no way around that, because we can't leave that island, but you can get to 60 on a Bloodthirsty by being restricted to Bastion. It's doable. Two Thirsty's done it. I've done it 3 times. So it is doable. Yes, so we were forced to allow these maw quests. Unfortunately. Trust me, it felt so wrong on testing and having to write down every single quest name and just looking at the list that was compiled and looking at how many there were, and it's just like, this is wrong, this doesn't feel right, this is bad. But we didn't have a choice.
Be prepared for whatever comes.
They did not put a skip in for the maw. At this point, I don't think they're going to. I feel like if they were, we would have had it by now. So this is something that we kind of have to cope with, unfortunately. We were really kind of hoping that we were going to get a skip, but it never materialized.
Do not let the jailer take you.
Just trying to get out of that nonsense. Because I did not want to get caught up in whatever that was going to do, and the kick was still on cooldown.
I think he's coming too. Bane.
Is your rogue also a Bloodthirsty or an Iron? This is a Bloodthirsty. I am in the green gear, which is making this a little bit easier to do.
Then you have my eternal gratitude, hero.
Irons, you're definitely going to want to do a trial class or a scout of some description that is geared close to your iron before coming in here right now. Some things changed with the Flight of Darkness quest, and that is or Flight from Darkness, that is the escort that was in the very beginning. It started behaving a little erratically when the patch info for 9.1 began to download in the background, and ever since then it started to behave kind of like what we saw in beta testing, which was deeply troubling, where
our way out of here.
all of the mobs if you didn't have a way to stealth and hang back, where the Maulsworn were all hitting the target, or hitting you, instead of even looking at the NPCs at first. And that's a lot of damage to deal with right away.
My spell will get us past
Will
most
her
of these
cloak
guards,
erase mine?
but there will likely be some who can
No,
see
we're
through it.
double cloaked. Alright.
Stay close.
I don't know how
We
good
can't
my
afford to
cloak
draw
is,
their
but
attention. Hold here.
I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, irons, you really want to test that to know what you're getting into, if only to figure out how to handle your cooldowns to get around that section.
Careful.
I
These
can't see me
eyes
because
see through my spell.
if I had the chance,
The size of the jailer's
I really
army
should.
rivals that of the Legion, and it's growing larger.
There, that's where I am, because I can't see me. I have a vague idea of where I'm at, so you guys definitely don't know where I am. I don't think. So,
So many souls
I hate it when they distort
pouring into
the
maw. The dead of Azeroth, Draenor,
view like
worlds
this.
beyond our imagination. All
Jada?
hold to this place.
She always fucks me over on this one. Alright, go Jaina, go, go, go.
Despite all Sylvanas has done,
She fucked me over on beta testing right there. They've made her a little bit better, but she like ran right through the mob and all of the elites were like, hi there! And like Anduin's dome was able to protect me for the most part, so if it does break, get in his dome ASAP. But why did you break the stealth? Look at these fuckers. They're downwind. Hello? They're gonna smell us. Lady. But yeah, it's a little bit less punishing on the bloodthirsties, but
Keystone was said to be dormant,
not
yet it seems to be reacting to our presence.
still not something you want to walk into
Find a way to
blind.
activate it.
I don't think the stone is responding to us. I think it's responding to this champion.
Okay, so this is our next, well, our last big problem of concern right here. There's a lot that's about to happen. You cannot AFK through this, okay? Let me say that again for everybody. Do not AFK through this part. It's about to get really chaotic. We are going to play Don't Stand in Anything, because there are random blue swirls that will pop up under your feet. Again, you cannot AFK through this and just like, oh, they'll deal with it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom or get a snack. No, 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 no. You have to keep moving because the blue swirls under your feet means a Maulsworn's about to dive bomb you, and that is not cool. You will take damage. We're just trying to not get aggro and let the NPCs handle this section because it's a lot. It's a lot of mobs. It's a lot of damage. As long as we don't touch anybody, we should get out of this just fine. We've played Hot Potato Floor is Lava with the other challengers that were bloodthirsties. My iron has not hit 50 yet. They're almost halfway, I think, to 49 or through 49. So,
he'll send all his forces against us.
but we're definitely taking a trial class through here.
Our only chance is to keep them at bay long enough for the Waystone to fully charge.
With the iron. I mean, I have an idea of what to expect, but I've also done this on a disciplined priest. And not a holy priest. And the holy priest is what the iron is currently. So we're just gonna chill. We're gonna pay attention and chill.
Hold the line. The Waystone must finish charging.
Just let them handle it. And just stay out of trouble. You looked at me, but no. I must have kicked a rock or something that caught his attention. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Nope, 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 nope. Shit. We ran through a dog and it put us in combat.
We have stopped endless armies.
Okay, you need to...
We will never yield.
Alright, we got out of combat and we can go back into stealth. No. Anduin. Our cutscene should be coming up here shortly. I'm gonna drop his box because I need to see my feet. So sorry for anyone that enjoys his speech. Can't fuck around with that at the moment. That's not cool. Why is nothing happening? There we go. I'm like,
It seems the Waystone has stopped charging.
The stone responds to you, champion. Try to activate it while we hold off the jailer's army.
We didn't ding yet. I am surprised. We probably will once we get into Oribos.
Yield to the inevitable.
They've stopped their advance.
Which is never a good thing. If the enemy suddenly stops and is staring you down,
Light is with me.
you need to be like,
Even
"Ooh,
here.
shit's about to get real." Yeah, stealth as a rogue is an advantage. So, I mean, Hunter with Feign Death,
Go, champion.
Druid
Go!
in cat form with Prowl will be helpful through here. Rogue with their stealth. Even Paladin with, I don't know if Bubble Heart's really gonna help you that much through the mall, because you're still gonna have to come back and go through it and catch back up to where you were.
You
But,
have failed.
No. I have precisely
you know,
what I need.
I've heard that Shaman's pretty brutal getting through the mall. Shaman Irons at the moment. But I haven't taken a Shaman through here yet, Bloodthirsty or Iron. Alright. We have made it into Oribos. We are halfway there. So we have to talk to this dude. Now remember, Bloodthirsties are not allowed to do Threads of Fate right now. You have to take the storyline. If you take this, you're gonna get red flagged. I can guarantee it at this moment, because the quests are all gonna show up acting like you did them when you didn't. So, because the way the API is acting, it's giving you quest credit to do the Threads of Fate stuff to hop over into the world quest. You couldn't do the world quests anyway as a Bloodthirsty, but it would give you the freedom to travel between sections.
Defend the Arbiter.
This one, we're gonna untrack that, because it's like not gonna go away. It will just continue to sit there.
You are welcome here.
Alright.
We must bring them to the overseers.
So we're gonna continue with the quest line. The quests here are going to continue to set us up in Oribos. We'll set up the portal back to Stormwind, so we can traverse through or around and get back home when needed, because there's no auction house out here. There is a transmog out here though, and there is a bank, and there are professional people, but there is no actual auction house, so you still need to go back home.
An ill omen
What is happening?
What can it mean? This stranger
They're just being slow.
at the city's edge. I believe them
That's
to
all.
be a living.
But hey, we made it through the most challenging part. I was really worried about that Ruiner's End quest. It went a lot differently on the trial class.
We shall see to their reception.
I think it was just a matter of circumstance that time through.
The eternal city must endure.
But we made it. This stuff now is just, it's really not all that dangerous. You're just gonna follow the prompts and get through.
Is taught that the maw is unbreachable. That the malevolent
These two are gonna
souls
bicker
within
amongst
seal the way
themselves
for all eternity.
while you stand there and listen to them.
This mortal's escape might mean the prison is weakening. If true, the banished
Oh,
one
thanks,
could-
Fred. Yeah, I mean, like, I try to show... I go through this nonsense, in, like, the long-winded sections that you can't avoid, for a reason. So, like, I do that so you guys can see what to possibly expect, what you may run into, how much time it may take you. Just to give you an idea of what you're in for, because I hate that we have to listen to these guys bicker. Like, verbally explaining it, but then, you know, actually seeing what could go wrong, what's happening, where patrols are coming from. They're two totally different things, right? So it helps to have an explanation, but also get to see the visual on it as well, because, you know, that could be that one time where, oh, that didn't happen before. So I mean, there's a first time for everything to go wrong and to happen. So I find it might be helpful to someone, even though I play a lot more conservatively and a lot more cautiously than others. It's still, it gives a different perspective on what could happen, or maybe you didn't think about doing it that way. I mean, it's a longer way to do it, but, and sometimes, like when I'm working on world quests on the Iron, I kind of sit on the outside edge and just kind of try to pick stuff off as I go. Sometimes it works. Sometimes one world quest could take me an hour and a half to do when I'm waiting on a respawn that's really slow. But it proves that you can still do it in some circumstances, depending on the class as well. I mean, I don't like just showing things on hunters, because hunters have a lot of wiggle room, shall we say, and a lot of people tend to go to hunter because of that wiggle room. So I like to show that it's doable on multiple classes and multiple races. Like, I know a lot of people preach Night Elf constantly, and they're not bad. They do have some more utility, especially if you're new and you don't really know for sure what you're getting into, and everything's uncharted territory as far as challenges go. So Shadow Meld can be helpful. I actually don't like Shadow Meld. I've had it fail on me a couple of times. And that's just because, you know, it's like, oh, I hit Shadow Meld, why didn't this work? Well, I had a dot ticking on me that I didn't notice. Oh, that's a problem. So, I mean, you learn what Shadow Meld can and can't do.
She consigned every soul to
But,
the
like,
afterlife
Shadow Meld's good
deserved.
and Shadow Meld's bad. It's a give and take. Like, I think it's okay to start out on, but I don't think you should do strictly Night Elves once you know what you're doing, or once you have an idea of what you're doing, because I feel like you come to rely on Shadow Meld too much like that. And there may be instances or a class you want to play that Night Elves don't have available, so I feel like it might, if you rely on it too much, I feel like it might set you up for problems later down the road, because then it's like, oh, where's my Shadow Meld? And, you know, you end up getting yourself into situations where it's like, oh, my Shadow Meld will fix it, and then when you're not on a Night Elf, you're in that same situation, and you're like, oh, where's my Shadow Meld? I can't fix this. And then, you know, people get frustrated and stuff, so.
Rich with anima, travel only to the mall.
So I feel like it's a double-edged sword, personally, for my opinion. I know there are some people that live and die by Night Elf, and hey, that's fine if that's the race you want to play. That's the race you want to play. But do know that, you know, if you pop off of that race and then go to hit another one, you have to be mentally prepared to deal with the fact that you don't have that racial ability. And I've done this with non-Night Elves. We've done it with a gnome. We've done it with a Draenei. We've done it with a dwarf. So, I mean, you don't have to be a Night Elf to get through this. It is possible. And I believe there's been some non-Night Elves that have made it as Irons as well. Yeah, I mean, like, I had Bubble Hearth on my palette. I never used it, though, because I couldn't remember which bubble it was, because my brain is dumb. True fact, the only reason I never used Bubble Hearth on my paladin is because I couldn't remember which bubble it was that I was supposed to use. Because certain bubbles have different effects. And my confused muffin brain could not keep them straight. So I just tried not to put myself in the situations where I might need it. Of course, you know, there's always those oh shit moments that you don't plan for. They're gonna happen, right? So, I mean, it would probably have benefited me to at least write it down or have a picture of the icon on the side so I knew which one I was supposed to use for the inevitable, oh my god, what the heck is this? But, you know, that's my mistake, possibly, for not using my spells to their fullest. But you do have to find a way that's going to work for you, because not every playstyle is going to work for everybody. You have it next to your Hearthstone. Well, see, that's good. That's good. You know, like, I have my food next to my Hearthstone. I have all my Hearthstones grouped together on my bar. So that way I know these are my Hearthstones. I can use these. I have all my mounts grouped together, so I'm not digging for a mount and not paying attention to what's going on around me. So, I mean, the key thing in all of this is to find a way to get through the challenges, or at least the challenge that you're choosing to play, in which works with your playstyle and also adheres to the rules. That's the biggest thing, because you can watch 15 of us playing the same challenge and we may all approach it differently. That's a cute mount. What mount is this?
Outside the city.
That's not a mount. That's a pet. Oh. Alright then. I've not been doing much on my level 60, so we can see why, and I feel dumb now. So, I find it funny that we talked to the Horde Ebon Blade to set up the portal when we're Alliance. I find that fascinating.
I thought death was the end of existence.
Considering that's the Stormwind portal.
Death is a power.
Be very careful here, okay? Even if you have flying, flying does not work in Ouroboros. So, don't be in for that rude awakening on a challenger. Be like, oh, my 60's got flying, we're fine. And hop on your flying mount and not pay attention to where you're going, or jump off the edge thinking you can fly. You cannot fly in Ouroboros. And this is a very long step off. Please be mindful of what you're doing and pay attention when you are here. Because, I don't know if everybody... What the fuck was that? Rampaging Mauler. Okay. There's so many more mounts in the game, and I am so far behind on my mount farming that I just kind of lost track of what mounts were what. So every time I see a mount that I haven't seen before, I'm like, oh, what is this?
The Arbiter watches over.
Well, there's our ding. Hey, we hit 51. So now we have to go take a tour of the city. This is such a pain because we can't mount because we're indoors. That's... No, that's that pet again. Okay. I'm kind of glad I ended up doing the 6-month time block recently. I was only going to buy a token. And I didn't have enough gold for a token. So then I was just gonna be like, fuck it, I'll just buy 1 month of time. And I only had like a couple of days left on my sub, and then I was like going back and forth, and I was like, well, you know, if we put it on the card that we're trying not to use, but we already had to throw the emergency vet bills on it, so we're like, okay, this is in play now. So I was like, well, if I put it on the card, then I don't have to worry for 6 months about my WoW. And I can try to get some more money put away, or gold put away for another set of tokens and try to extend it out that way. So I ended up doing the 6-month chunk because it was a few dollars cheaper in the end. And I was going to be playing anyhow. So I ended up getting that bird by default that I didn't know was coming. So that was cool. Okay. Now, we do have to go visit this dude. Don't discount this guy and be like, whatever, that's for the other quest, that's for the Threads of Fate quest. He is for the Threads of Fate quest, but he's for this quest too. You have to come and talk to him for this quest. Remember, don't turn in a Fates Remembered. You want to what is this place? You don't want this, you don't want that, you want the one in the middle. And then that will check that off for your city tour quest. I'm always paranoid about walking on the ground here. Because you don't get saved if you walk off the edge in Oribos. There's no magic winged people to put you back on the platform. You die. Like, you're dead. This is not where we wanted to go. This one always trips me up. I forget that I have to come out and go around. And it annoys me that not all of the sections are interconnected. I feel like they should be. Like, what's the point of having an outer ring if you can't access everything? Alright.
You have my undivided
That's
attention.
done. I still can't mount unless I go out. Like, yeah, that one section cuts off. It's like, nope, you have to go out and around. Why? Why couldn't we just have a doorway there? What the hell is going on in general chat? Official sponsor of Daredevil. Oof, just shoot yourself in the... What? What is happening? There is someone in my server set that...
The sky above the city.
I can't remember. I think they're originally from Malfurion server. I was on Moonrunner Nomergon. Moonrunner Nomergon then got connected to Lothar, Malfurion, Ghostlands, Kel'Thalos,
All you hold dear will be consumed in darkness.
and someone else whose name escapes me at the moment. And this dude on Malfurion likes to put on fan fiction plays in general that have nothing to do with WoW. He's reenacted Daredevil stuff at Christmas. He reenacted the Grinch with multiple characters across multiple servers. So this guy must have like umpteen accounts. I don't know if he's trying to get banned at this point, because people keep reporting him for spam, I guess. But it's like,
Balance must be restored.
What might your purpose be?
one night he was doing an Inuyasha, either the movie, an episode, or an original script he wrote. I am not sure. It was something. So you already have flying Shadowlands? No, I do not. I do not have flying out here. the character that I got to level 60,
The winged Kyrian of Bastion ferries souls from the mortal realm into the
they got to 60 and I jumped back onto my challengers. So I think they have like 4, no, they might have 2 renown. Force being generous. I think they have 2 renown. So I'm way behind and haven't done it yet. I haven't had time. I'm not that worried about it though. I've been able to get by. It would be nice to have it in Revendreth, just because Revendreth is like Nazjatar to me with all of the freaking levels, and it pisses me off because I never know what level I'm supposed to go at. Because I have a second character that's 53, 54 that's leveling through Threads of Fate, so she has a hard time finding what tier the world quests are in, or are at, out there. So Revendreth kind of annoys me in that aspect, because certain sections it's like, oh, well, this level of the castle, oh no, you need to be like 3 levels higher, and it's like, what? I don't know how to get there. So from a world questing aspect, it would probably be a lot easier, and it would probably be a lot easier on your irons if you had flying coming into Shadowlands. Bloodthirsty wise, I'm stuck in Bastion. So I'm stuck in Bastion, and if I'm flying, then that means I'm not killing anything. And my endpoints are not very far from...
I have been instructed to hear, mortal.
I'm here.
This teleporter will convey you to the ring of transference.
Yes. Oh, you're still downstairs. Okay. Yes, we're here.
You are welcome in Oribos.
Yes. Really. You cannot rush these guys. They just... They're not having it.
What do you seek?
You can glitch yourself pretty easily. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like why I'm not mounted very often on my Bloodthirsties. I've started doing so in between the sections of my middle grinding loop, or my halfway point grinding loop, before I start on the turtles, because there's a little bit of space in between each mob. But in my brain, if I'm mounted, then I'm not killing all of the things that I should be, or could be. So,
unexpected.
Since I have to be killing so much stuff, I'm just not mounted that often. Okay, now do yourself a favor right here before you click this guy. Get the flight point. You don't want to take the long way home. And by that I mean, if you forget to set your Hearthstone to somewhere in Bastion, as a Bloodthirsty, even if you forget, I mean, you could even set your Hearthstone to the inn here in Oribos, but, say your Hearthstone is set to, like, BFA. If you Hearth, you're gonna end up back there. And then you'll have to fly all the way back. And it helps to have the flight point, so that way you can fly back and forth from here to there, or like I said, you have to Hearth back to wherever the fuck your Hearthstone was if you didn't change it out here. Just change your Hearthstone and grab the flight point. For some reason you have to click this twice. I don't understand why you have to click it twice, but you do. I did not retransmog my stuff yet. I don't really know what the leather gear looks like out here yet. I probably should have, but I also didn't want to waste the money on it because we were pretty poor at that point. So talk to this dude.
How may I serve? All souls
Send me to Bastion. Alright, so Seek the Ascended is the last quest we're going to be allowed to turn in. Oh, epileptic warning. We're about to go through the gate to fly into Bastion. This could trigger a seizure. Be warned. I know this light gives me a headache. I had that glitch in beta. Huh? People in the stream?
Oh, okay, I didn't notice the stream, sorry. That looks a little more focused on used to seeing you in your stream.
No, we're about to wrap up because I am starving. So we didn't get to the iron today, I do apologize, but we're about to finish for today because I need to eat badly. So you turn this in. Do not take that quest. You're done. All done. No more quests. But we're at least gonna get to the inn and change our Hearthstone. Yes. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for staying up late. I do appreciate that. You have a good night, Rudd. Thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate that as well. You have a good night, sir. So we're just going to traverse over to Aspirant's Rest. I believe is the point that we're looking for. Don't forget to grab your flight point there as well. Oh, thank you, intro. Oh, that would be lovely. Hopefully we'll see you back to doing some challenges soon. No pressure, though. I know it's not for everybody. Bloodthirsties are allowed to use Crummy Time, but don't do the quest that says to go talk to her. Just talk to her once you hit like 10 or 11, I think it is. Just don't do the quest to go talk to her. That's not allowed, but you can utilize Crummy Time without doing the quest. Alright, so yes, we are in Aspirant's Rest. I need to redo my scout, so that I know what I can kill out here. I have an idea of what I can kill, but I need to re-scout all this out. So this one's gonna sit for right now. And thank you guys for popping in. You've just been enjoying leveling up your other character stuff. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you know, do what you're enjoying the most right now, and if you give it another whirl, that's awesome. If you don't, that's awesome too. I mean, do what you enjoy, because nobody's forcing anybody to do this. And if you're not having fun doing it if you come back and are not having fun doing it, that's fine too. You can walk away. It's perfectly fine. I don't want anyone to ever do something that they're not enjoying. I'm on a personal mission to try to get one of every class to max on Bloodthirsty. I don't know if it's going to happen. I may run out of time before the next thing comes along, because it does take me a while to get through these guys at the pace that I level. So at least we've gotten 3 so far, so we can't complain. We've gotten some of the non-traditional classes. So we've gotten the priest, we've gotten the warlock, and we've gotten the paladin. So we don't have like the hunter, the rogue, the druid. I didn't go for those first because everybody goes for those first. So I went with the more outer edge classes. But hopefully we'll have the hunter soon. So yeah, thank you guys for popping in. I do greatly appreciate your time. Don't forget, there is a podcast this weekend for WoW Challenges, 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. It's going to be a back to basics show, so kind of reviewing what you need to do if you're brand new, just want to get started in all of this. I will be on again this week with Lita, and Fair will also be joining the podcast team this weekend. So tomorrow afternoon we're doing Stardew Valley. Friday, we're gonna pop back into Planet Zoo and see if we can do something with that peafowl exhibit. I got the walkways reconfigured, so that they're more how I wanted them. I don't know what was going on last week. I feel like last week was definitely a false start, but I went back in later that night and kind of reworked it. It seems to be more to how I wanted it to be now and behaving more to how I wanted it. So we'll try to do another Franchise Friday with Mozuzamo Zoo over in Planet Zoo on Friday. Saturday's podcast, and then Sunday we'll be doing we'll be getting down to laying down tissue paper on our peafowl. So yeah, you guys have a great night, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. If not, that's cool too. And thank you for the likes, the retweets, the donations. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter at NiseyBGN, or you can find me in the WoW Challenges Discord. It's just Kneesee over there. So have a great night, you guys. Stay safe and take care.